Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ringers versus Regulars. I'm your host, Justin Fota. It's Chicago Pub and Billiards against the Break Room this week as Jacqui and Jeff get set to take on Hamid Lalani and Naim Ismail. Hamid actually appeared on season 1 of Ringers vs. Regulars and ended up losing to Jacqui, so we'll see how he fares with his partner Naim Ismail this week. But first, let's get to know the players.
Yeah, so Hamid and I have known each other since we were kids. Like we grew up together, our parents know each other, so like we really know each other since like infants. But I don't think we started playing pool till, I don't know, was we like,
we were about 14, 15.
something like that, yeah.
No one would let us in. There was always open alcohol.
That's what it was.
Doolies would never let us in, and we didn't know of anywhere else to go.
Yeah. So then we just started playing casually, once a week or something like that, and then it sort of became a thing like, no matter where we were, like sometimes I'd go work in Toronto or he'd be off work, and we'd always come back and, play pool, at least try and do once a week.
We found that really nice place near the Eaton Center that has like an underground where you can go play pool, and there's ping pong tables there and everything too.
Yeah, definitely in terms of playing styles, we're similar because we learned to play together, but we have some differences. Like Hamid has a really good long game, and I would say like I'm better with, the angles and some of the more like tricky shots.
I can do backspin while you can do top spin.
Yeah, I can do top spin. So when we play against each other, it's not so great, but we're looking forward to playing, together on the same team and putting those two skills together.
I'd say the strategy is keep as positive as possible, coach each other where we need coaching, and just try and beat Jacqui and her partner.
Yeah, definitely, and like we talked about some of those complementary skills, so really trying to bring those out and feel to each other's strengths, and hopefully it'll go well.
And if we hit the ball, make sure if we don't get it in, at least it lies near the hole instead of going halfway across the table.
Yeah,
that'd be the best opportunity. I've played against Jacqui last year in the first season of Ringers versus Regulars, and I mean she's a tough competitor, but I think we can pull through and get a win, or at least get really close too.
Yeah, as long as we don't make a fool of ourselves, right? We'll be good.
Yep.
Well, I met Jacqui probably 2-3 years ago, playing pool here on a team. We played on the same team with her and her boyfriend, and we've got to know each other through pool that way.
And he was my coach for a lot of it. Jeff showed me a lot of the things that I do know, and he helped me out with my stance a lot as well. Communication, again, will be important. Hamid was actually on season 1 of Ringers, so we haven't seen his partner play it, but I remember he had some really good shots. Even his long shots were pretty good. So maybe a defensive type game would be effective.
I know how Jacqui plays it very well, so shot selection will be the biggest thing. Giving her the shots, knowing her strengths and her weaknesses, staying away from her weaknesses, building towards her strengths, and just going for more success that way. Pool is always a thinking game. You never walk to the, it's the same game, but it's never the same game. The balls are always different, your opponent's different, the situation's different. Playing in front of the camera and the lights is very different. It's not easy to do. I have commentated for Ringers versus Regulars, but being on the match table and seeing the lights on you, the TV, I've played one other TV match in the past, through a tournament, and the TV got me. I didn't play very well, I choked. So hopefully this time I can redeem myself.
Looks like it should be another exciting match. We'll be back with frame number 1 right after this. Welcome back to Ringers versus Regulars. We'll head to the tables at the Break Room where Reid and Bird are set to take on Lalani and Ismail.
Thanks, Justin. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Ringers versus Regulars. Today we have Hamid Lalani and Naim Ismail, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, versus Jacqui Reid and Jeff Bird. So today, I'm all by myself. Jeff Bird normally has been helping me out, but he is currently playing with Jacqui. So today we have Hamid and Naim playing out of Chicago Pub and Billiards. Hamid actually appeared on season 1 on Ringers versus Regulars. He lost to Jacqui actually, and Hamid was known for his good long shots. So today we'll see how this goes, but I know Jeff Bird and Jacqui's game very well. Jeff Bird, I know that he was a little nervous about playing on TV because he's played on a TV table once before, and it didn't go too well. So I know he's looking to redeem himself here, and we're looking for a good match here. Again, we have tap rules in effect, so 4 balls must hit a rail, and Jeff took the first break. Definitely a nice spread. I don't believe anything went down, no. So, I definitely like the solids there, just because, well, if you look up in the corner there, you have the 14 and the 12 ball, I believe it is. They're kind of tied up. You have to do a lot of work to get up there and break those out and get fortunate enough to land on another ball. And I know Jeff has already saw that, and so did Jacqui. So she's looking, I believe, at that 2 ball into the corner pocket. It passes the 8 and 5. If she rolls this forward, if she has enough angle there where she can land on the next ball. Oh, just overcut it just a bit. But now we have an interesting game, interesting rack here, because the 2 and 5 are actually locked up together as well. It's an okay shot. Now, being that scotch doubles, just have to remind everybody that you don't continue shooting. It's even 2 good players can have problems with this, because if you're a rhythm player, you know, you make a ball and you want to go and jump to the next one. But now you actually have to let your teammate shoot. And that looked like a good shot, except it just kissed off the rail there. So let's see what Jeff has in for us here. We have, I think he might be going with that 7 and dragging it back over for the 6. Yep. Probably would have wanted that a little harder to come off the rail, but it'll definitely work. Jacqui, all she has to do now is just roll the 6 ball forward. And again, just a little bit of an overcut. So these lights definitely play a factor, because when you see the lights all over the ball on the object ball, it actually gives you an incorrect position of contact to make the ball. So normally when there's just lights directly above, you can actually use them to your advantage. It is a neat little trick, but definitely feel is the way to go. So Jeff's up here now, and he's thinking, and the best part is he's not just thinking about what ball to land on next. He's thinking, what is Jacqui going to make, and what will Jacqui be able to manufacture, if you will, for the next shot for him. So that's, again, why scotch doubles can be quite tricky. You need to be comfortable with your partner and, well, have fun. Oh no, so that was a scratch in the side pocket, so it's ball in hand anywhere on the table. If what I would be doing is I'd be looking at this 12-14, possibly the 12 down in the corner. That will break out the balls, and if all you have to do is float the cue ball up. But he played the 10 ball on the side, which it's leaving a lot of tricky shots here. That was a good shot. Right now, if I were up at this table, I'd be looking at cutting that 14 into the corner pocket. Again, from my angle, I'm not 100% sure if that's available, but if it is, that's the shot to go with. You need to get rid of your problem balls first. A lot of players have the tendency to run the table down with all the easy balls, and then they're left out of shape for their problem. And that shot there was pretty good because there was it was just a containing safety. There are some solids kind of tight. Oh no, they were tied up to 5 and 2, and I know Jeff was definitely looking to possibly clip off the 2 and break that out a bit. I'm kind of shocked that he didn't hit it too harder anyway. Now that's a very questionable shot. Normally if the cue ball and the object ball are within a chalk distance apart, you have the right to ask for a ref at any time, but that shot there, if you double hit the cue ball, it is a foul. That was a good shot there. So Hamid's definitely I believe, a stronger player than his partner. But again, playing, it's not a bad thing to have more experience. It's just, what are you going to do for your partner? And see, that was a good shot. I actually thought that she was going to call a defensive and leave it there. If she did that, then it would have been a lock-up safety. I think Jeff is going to have to kick at this now. So that's called a containing safety. He did touch the 2 ball, I believe, and the cue ball hit the rails, so therefore there's no foul there. But the 15 and 9 do not go past the 5-2. So I don't see a bank. I don't think that 15 will bank past. And again, just another defensive shot. Okay, so I didn't even catch that there. Jeff's just reiterating the rules. With scotch doubles, you have to kind of keep in mind your shot selection, because that was a foul. Hamid actually shot the ball before, and it was a defensive shot, and Jeff counteracted with another defensive, or after Jacqui made the ball, and Hamid jumped back up and played another safety. So there's only really one shot to play here, and it is not an easy shot, and it is the 15 up in the top right corner, up by that 3 ball. Maybe the 9 goes up there. Nope. And believe the cue, I'm not sure if the cue ball hit the rail after the fact. It didn't. Jeff questioned it, he asked, and well, I guess they came to an agreement that it did not. The cue ball hit the rail first. Jeff got down a little quick there. He was trying to draw the cue ball off the cushion into the 5 and break that out, and just a little too much there, and missed the 5 altogether. See what they're doing there. I can't hear them. Oh, it was a defensive shot, I believe, and a pretty good one at that. Now the 15, I believe, can go, but in order to make that and get position on the next shot, it's not an easy task. If it hits the 5, and that, I believe, hit the 5. From my angle here, it looked like it hit the 5 first. Jeff will ask that question. And again, it hit the 5 first, so it's another ball in hand. Let's see if he can run this out. I believe he's just going to go with the 5 to the 1, And the reason why he's doing this is it's a nice straight shot up. All Jacqui has to do is roll the cue ball up, hopefully gets off the rail, and Jeff will have to make a tougher shot in order to get back down for the 8 ball and position. That 15 is blocking the corner pocket there. That was a good shot, good weight. There's angle. So Jeff can either draw 2 rails and down, 3 rails actually it would have to be because of that 15, or he can come 3 rails possibly with top right spin. If he does that, then it's only a weight game. Oh, he's going with this, okay. And that's the trick. The problem with that shot is not using enough rails, and well, it's all weight. He came back a little further than anticipated, and now it leaves a tough cut for Jacqui. The good thing is that that 15 ball blocks that corner pocket for the cue ball, so there shouldn't be any real concerns of scratching. Again, if you see that white number 1 marker over there on that corner pocket, that's the ball marker, the 8 ball. You actually have to mark the 8 ball, what pocket you're shooting it to. If you do not and you make the 8 ball, even if you intended it for it to go there, if there's no marker, it is actually a loss of rack. Not an easy cut. Let's see here. Oh, just got unlucky there and actually undercut it by doing so. The cue ball had that spin and that, well, the momentum to hit off the rail first and then off the 15 and scratch in the corner pocket.
So a costly scratch puts Hamid and Naim up 1-0 after 1 game in our best of 5 series. Don't go anywhere. Right after the break, we'll have frame number 2. Welcome back. Let's head back to the tables at the break room for the start of game 2.
In scotch-doubles, the winning team has to keep rotation. So Naim shot the last ball, so Hamid is actually going to be breaking. Whereas the losing team of that rack can pick a new rotation. So even though Jacqui shot that 8 ball, she could shoot again if they decide to. With the 14 in the side. And it was, I had a very good feeling that Jeff was going to go first. He was going to try to power the cue ball and try to get some movement of the cluster in the middle there. Now there's a big issue because you don't want to be hitting it too hard. That 8 ball is right there, and it seems like the two easiest balls to pocket is the cue ball and the 8 ball, out of order. So there's definitely going to be some work to be done here. Definitely got a roll there. I'm not sure what he's going for, what they're going to be going for here. What I like is banking the 12 ball down the table, but not necessarily making it, wanting it to go close to the corner pocket, blocking the 7 ball, but making Hamid and Naim play the breakout, making them break out that cluster. Because if they break it out, there's a chance that the 8 ball could go in and they could lose, or they could actually, break it out and open it up for Jacqui and Jeff. Pretty well the same thing there with the 15 ball that I mentioned with the 12. Oh, I'm sorry, that is the 15. But it's just that they moved it in such a way that if they get the right cue ball position on that 15 ball, you can draw it back or you can come off a rail and into the cluster. Again, you got to be careful with that 8 ball. And this is not going to make it any quicker of a rack. Jeff's going to go for the 12 ball, but let's see what he does. That's simply just, he got down really fast there and shot. And when you get down, you definitely want to take your time. Cameras and lights, the lights and cameras definitely play a big factor in nerves. But hitting it so hard, there's always a chance that it's not going to go in. I don't like making the 15 ball here. See what happens. If she clips just off the 13 and brings the cue ball down onto the end rail there, then it actually is, it's a good safety. And that's fine. It leaves the 7 ball, but the 7 ball is quite tough. Again, to make it, yes, it's not an easy shot with you so close to the rail, and also with the 15 ball there. And actually, I just saw him touch the 15 ball. Good cameras here for sure, because I got to see that, and he never said anything. I've seen a lot of people do that. It's simply an accident in tap. It's not all ball foul, but definitely want to ask the opponent, the opposing team, if they want it to move back or leave it where the ball is. The 15 didn't really move anywhere, so it's not a big deal, but sometimes it makes a big difference in the rack and the way the rack lays out. Okay, so Jeff's just trying to break it out and leave it tough. There's still the 6 and the 5 ball in there, and the 13 passes into the corner, and the 11 goes, I believe, past the 15. So yes, the stripes are kind of out right now, but you just have to get good position. That was a good shot by Hamid. Naim definitely has options here. I would have left that ball personally. I probably would have went with the 7 to the 3 and tried to drop on that 6, because the 6 actually goes into the corner. It was a good shot, just the position that the cue ball is in right now. There's really only a bank on the 1 ball. I think he's going the combo up for the 5, and that was an excellent shot. Very creative and very well done. Very tough to make that shot on a 9-foot table and see it. I would have went with the bank 100% of the time. Unfortunately, there was a scratch to follow that up, but it was a great shot by Hamid, because now the 6 ball's wide open there. Again, the only problem ball for the solid Hamid and Naim is the 1 ball, but Jacqui's opening up some of the problem here for Jeff and Jacqui. She needs to get good position on that cue ball. If she stops it dead, Jeff will have the 12 in the corner, and he may have the 11. It's a delicate shot. Great shot. That was a delicate shot, because if he hit it too hard being so close, could have got out of shape for the 12 and 15. Jacqui's just got to roll this up, and again, this is a light touch. You either want to get close to the rail or past the 7 ball. And I bet you that's what she was thinking about. Sometimes it's easier just to hit a little bit more firm than try to baby it in. This cloth is Andy cloth. It's very fast. Again, we're downtown Kitchener at the break room. They will be moving soon, and it's definitely a great pool room to be playing at. But it can be quick, especially with these lights on this table. Okay, that was a nice try. You can tell that I wear glasses myself, but I actually can't play pool while wearing glasses. I feel it because I get right down onto the cue, and I can't look over top of. I look half on my glasses and half over top. It's very odd, and so I actually have to take off my glasses for a bit before I play a match in order for my eyes to adjust. Jacqui, all she has to do is make it and get off the rail, so I believe there's enough angle to go with topspin. And she made that, not a problem. Jeff can make this ball, and again, the 6 is covering that corner, but I kind of commentators cursed the last time, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. And it doesn't. He played it at good pace. The marker was actually already marked from previous rack. Nobody actually had to move it, so because of that, you don't actually have to touch it again. The pocket is already marked.
And with that, Jeff Bird ties things up for his team. We'll be back with frame number 3 right after this short break. Welcome back to Ringers versus Regulars. We've got a good one going this week as we're tied up at 1 game apiece heading into frame number 3. Let's go back to the tables at the break room for the next game.
It's odd because the first rack, Jeff had a very good break and they exploded, the balls exploded, but nothing went down. Sometimes it's just an unlucky roll or kick to keep a ball out. And again, that's what happens. The cue ball and cue ball and 8 ball out of turn is the most common balls that you see go in the pocket very easily. She skipped off the head ball, and just with the top spin, with the type of spin that she had, it circled right into that side pocket. That is not that is kind of an average scratch. They're talking about it. It's good. I do not mind this ball at all, but I would definitely be playing it on more of an angle to break out that 14-1. If you're going to go for it, since the balls are quite open, you want to keep it on an angle and break out that 14. Oh, and there we go. Tap rules. Because there was a scratch on the break, I almost forgot there. You actually have to put the cue ball behind the head string line and shoot the ball down table. And Naim got very lucky there because even though he hit off another ball and it did not go straight in, he did call that 10 ball into the corner pocket. So because it went in the pocket, it is Hamid's turn. They're still at the table. What I like here is actually hitting the 14 into the rail. And again, this is where experience comes into play. Yes, that 15 was available, but it was one of the last balls over on that side of the table to try to break out that 14. If you hit the 14 off the rail and stop the cue ball dead, you don't really have a good shot on the 1, and you don't really have any good shot anywhere. That was a good use of backspin there. Draw shot, as some know it. So if you look here, they're definitely going to start talking more. It is scotch-double, so there's no such thing as a timeout. Your teammate can come out and talk to you. That was a great shot. Unfortunately, from where I am, I can't actually hear what they're saying, so I don't know if they want to try to call the 6 ball. It would have been a very, very difficult shot to make, but because of this, there's only the 14, which breaks out their 1 ball. Unless the 4 goes in there. No, I believe the 4 goes into the side pocket past the 11. Okay, and the 11 ball kept traveling past. So you use the 11 to go into the side pocket, breaking it out for the 7. Now this here, I guess you cannot see the 6, but this is a tough shot on the 7. Great touch. Great shot there. When you hit a ball slow like that, if there is any type of roll in the table, that is when you'll see it. A good bump. I'm sorry, it's not best 2 out of 3, it's a race 2-3. All it's just do is roll forward, just come forward enough for the 3 ball, but still leave a bit of an angle to get that 1. She hit it with a bit of top lefts there in order for it to come out that straight. And see how the cue ball just kind of straightened right out as soon as it hit the rail? There was a little bit of left spin, outside spin there, which made it do that. Kind of shocked Jeff missed that ball. I believe that he rushed it. Jeff is one of the people who I look to get better myself. He knows the game in and out. He's a great shot. So I definitely think that he rushed that there. And again, I think the nerves of the lights and cameras are really, playing their toll on both of them there. That was a great shot by Hamid. I don't recall the match last year too well, but I do believe that he's gotten a little bit better. He might have been playing a lot more because that draw shot was very well done out in the middle of the table. I would have taken the 14 ball next, but they opted to go with the 14, I believe, or sorry, the 12. 3 ball to the 1, drag it out for the 8 ball. The 8 ball goes in both corners. Oh, now I know that this makes it a little tougher because it's so close to the rail. It would have been nicer to be off the rail a bit, but because now Jeff is not a level cue, it's definitely higher. And he's trying very hard to come off the rail and come back and get a little closer to the 8 ball. The 8 ball is pretty well one of the only balls that you really want to be straight in. Well, for the 11 ball. Cue ball got away from him there. In order to play that shot, I definitely wouldn't have played that much topspin. I believe that backspin would have been better. It would have brought the cue ball more out to the center of the table and would have had the 14. This makes it interesting. The 1 ball will go in that corner with the 9 ball, but it's a blind pocket and you have to hit the rail first, then the 9, and it will go in. But with this shot, you have to be careful because the opposite corner pocket is very big, and you have to hit it with a little bit more pace in order for it to come around 2 rails to get to the 8 ball. You need to see the 8 ball. That was a nice try. And you could see the 8 ball where she is. The thing with that is if the 9 ball went down and then the 1 ball, she called the pocket, doesn't matter, it would still be their turn. Hamid's up, eyeing up the 14 and makes that with ease. Now here's kind of tough because if you go with the corner pocket, the side pocket comes into play. If that side pocket comes into play and the cue ball goes in, then, and what Hamid just did there with his hand is tangent line. That was a great shot. We'll see where the cue ball ends up. It looks like it's traveling fast enough to go past for the 8 ball in the side or corner. Let's see here. Yeah, I would go more with the corner pocket. That angle, the side pocket's quite small. right, so he missed that one. So Jeff is up and on the one ball. The one ball's hanging. Believe that he's going to make this. Is just now what he's thinking about right now is how to get to the 8-ball. And he chose to go rail first. Come out 3 rails for the 8-ball in the side pocket. That was a great shot. It's a risky shot because, well, again, if the rail plays odd or you put any type of spin on it, anything can really affect it. But that was a great choice of shot, and well, the reward is right here. Oh. So she missed that by cutting it too much. So we're gonna go with Naim has the opportunity to shoot this into the corner pocket. They marked it. The bridge hand. Naim's bridge hand is very, it's odd. You see it more with the, with really non-players, players that go out and just have some fun with it. But, and again, that's great, but it's not very stable. Your hand can move. You want to get your hand as flat as possible on the table if you're going with an open bridge, but you definitely want it to be sturdy. This is not an easy shot because he's jacked up and so close to the rail, and he wants to stop. So the cue ball's still against the rail. It makes it a tougher shot, but it was a very, very difficult shot for him to try. Hamid's going for the corner. It is marked. Great shot. So, I definitely believe Hamid's been practicing. It shows a lot, and he's definitely taken almost like the captain's position on his team, getting up there and showing, you know, side pocket versus corner because the cue ball could scratch and give a ball in hand. He's definitely stepped up to the plate there, and he's made the tough shots. That 8-ball there is not an easy shot when that close to the rail. You don't really get a good backstroke in there, so it's very different from the average stroke.
So Hamid puts away a close one, leaving his team just one win away from victory. We'll see if they can capitalize right after this. Welcome back. Hamid and Naim currently leading the match 2-1. We'll see if Jacqui and Jeff can tie up the series as we get set for the start of frame number 4.
Hamid and Naim are up 2-1 in a race to 3. Hamid made the 8-ball, so Naim took the break. And I don't believe he made anything, no. And so it's on Jeff and Jacqui. Jeff's opting to go. Jeff and Jacqui opted to put Jeff up first here. It's not decided until the ball is shot, but they're thinking about it, and he's going with that 13. I think he wanted to knock out that 9-14 a little bit more, but the 7-ball got in the way. 14 ball, I don't believe passes into the side. So 15 to the side pocket. She's right on the rail. It's automatic topspin. She's keeping her cue nice and level, but it's still a very difficult shot. And it still leads to the cue ball going towards the corner. All right. I believe Hamid's looking at the 2 in the corner. Or, yeah, the 2 in the corner is what it looks like. Wasn't easy at all. But look at the leave. The leave, there's only really the 15 ball in the corner. Jeff's going to have to do something with this cue ball in order for it to come off the rail and give a good shot, but it's so close to the side that you can't put draw on it. So he's going with tops. He made the ball, good stroke. And I don't know if the 11 blocks the 10. Here they go, talking, seeing what the best option is. I think she called the 10. It's going to be a combination. That was a nice attempt, but definitely a little soft. Six ball is definitely, I believe, is going to be shot here. The 7 ball passes into the corner pocket. The 1 ball goes up into the corner. He's going to go for the 3. This is where I would stop him and say, go for the 6. It would have been an easier shot. It's up against the rail, and it's more of an issue. So I would have went with the 6 ball first. That hit very odd for it to bounce out that way. I believe he hit the horn, just the right or wrong spin, if you will, for it to come out like that. But at least they own that pocket. And it kind of forces Hamid to take that 6. But again, I like the 6. If they go with the 6 now, then you have the 4 in the corner pocket after. He tried a little hard there to get over to the 4 and get good shape. Going straight up the rail there is not an easy task if you have a large cut ahead of you. She's looking at the combination, the 11 into the 6 into the 10. I believe that you want to hit this a little firm so that way the 6 gets out of the way for the 11. Just never cut that enough. This is not an easy leave for Naim. So he shot the 5 and the 3 went in. It is still not their turn. He called the 5, obviously, which is why Jeff is coming out to the table. But this is not a very easy rack at all. See, he's called the corner pocket. Oh no. So he went for the big shot there to get the balls, get them all open. And unfortunately it just didn't go his way. The way it kissed off, I thought the 1 would have played a bigger blocker than for the 8 than that, but it seemed to just squeeze through. It touched it just a hair, but not enough to get it out of path of the corner pocket.
Just 5 minutes into the frame and the match ends on a fluke scratch. So Hamid and Naim are your winners with a 3-1 series victory. Don't go anywhere. We'll hear from the players right after this.
I'd say the start. It was going really, really well. Like nice and upbeat. We ended up winning the first match as well. Like it kept us nice and positive. And then that turning point when we were up to their 1, it was like we could potentially end it right here.
Yeah, for me it was that the second match we played. In the second half of that, where it got down to the wire, where we were both playing for the 8-ball, that was really suspenseful.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there, kind of the edge of my seat, you know, waiting to play, and I was so glad Hamid got it in, because I was nervous about picking the next shot. It's a lot of pressure.
We'd miss, and then we'd be like, oh, well, it's done there.
Yeah.
Let's put the cube back and ready to rack, and then they'd miss. And you'd be like, how?
Yeah, so
It's good.
that was suspenseful for sure.
Some missed opportunities, as once again I said I fall apart in front of the camera, and sure enough I fell apart in front of the camera.
That's all right, we'll get him next time.
We'll do our best.
Well, we're really used to the rules that we created when we first started playing a long time ago. We started to adapt the official rules as it went on, but there's a few rules that we kept forgetting, or to that nature. Like, we have to hit a rail after contact, not just have to hit a rail in general during your shot.
Yeah, and switching after every play, you know, when we play, it's like if you make a shot, you keep going, right? So every now and then I'd start lining up for a shot and someone would be like, wait, switch. So that took some getting used to.
Yeah, and then the fact that if you scratch the cue ball on the 8-ball shot, it's game over. Whereas what we would do is we just put the cue ball back and keep playing until you properly make the 8-ball.
Sure, but we weren't complaining because it wasn't us, so.
Yeah, so that was a nice helpful part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how she shoots, I know where I need to leave her, and that's all I need to do, and if I'm doing that, then that's good. I missed 3 or 4 balls there. It's uncharacteristic, and I just have to change that.
Very uncharacteristic. That's the most I've seen him miss in a match, I think, ever. So I know you'll do better for the next one.
I'm gonna try.
Hopefully I do too. I didn't shoot to my my fullest potential there either, so we'll blame it on early morning.
Keeping our head up, I'd say, is a pretty good key, because there were some times where it looked pretty shaky, where all of our balls were just in one big center, and we ended up breaking them out and getting the majority of ours out to the point where it was just the majority of the opponent's balls in that center bundle.
For sure, and yeah, just keep, you know, keep optimistic, I guess, throughout the entire game. Like, yeah, there were definitely some points where they would come out the gate really strong, and we were like, oh no, they just put in, like, you know, a bunch back to back. And so, yeah, just keeping optimistic, and that seemed to work for us.
And that's it for this week on Ringers versus Regulars. I've been your host, Justin Fota. Thanks for watching.